The day I returned to China, the plane exploded. I had just strapped on my parachute when a frail woman, delicate as a porcelain doll, suddenly rushed over and yanked off my parachute pack. I shouted at her, demanding an explanation, but she suddenly pressed herself against me, and her soft lips sealed over mine. Damn it, I'd been with my girlfriend for 7 years, and I had never even tasted the lipstick at the corner of her mouth. But this woman acted like she meant to swallow me whole. What the hell? Where the hell do you think you're touching? Just because you're pretty, does that mean you can do whatever you want? Just as I was furious and ready to shove her away, a few big, burly men walked over. She is not here. No parachute. She definitely would not dare jump without thinking, especially when she is badly injured. She must be hiding in the crowd. Keep looking. I watched them storm off menacingly, and I felt a little panic. Then another group came over. I saw one of them keeping a hand inside his clothes. That pose means he has a gun. Suddenly, a ruthless gaze landed on me. The man glanced at me. Just a couple facing life and death separation. Nothing threatening. The woman's back was blocked by the parachute, which happened to hide her identity. She must have hidden somewhere else. If we fail this time, the higher-ups will never let this go. Looks like we need to hurry up. Do not let the Black Dragon Society find her first. Listening to their conversation, I could not help thinking, the passengers on this plane are way too strange. Everyone is looking for someone, and this woman is still trying to get away with touching me. Thinking that this woman was still disrespecting me, I raised my hand to push her away, but she caught my wrist and guided my hand to her waist. Hey, who the hell are you? Back off. We are about to crash. Do you hear me? The leader suddenly stopped and turned back to look at me. Boss, we do not have much time. We need to get out of here fast. What are you looking at? He followed the boss' gaze and looked at me. Only then did I realize their attention was not on me, but on the mysterious woman in front of me. Damn, we've caught their attention. At that moment, the man they called boss had already pulled a gun from his pocket and quickly pulled the trigger. The woman flipped her hand and hurled a blanket at them, then grabbed me and leaped down. So fast it was shocking. The parachute snapped open in midair, and we drifted through the sky together. A not too close, not too far distance from the plane. It's her. She got away. Opened fire. Bang, bang, bang. The gunshots echoed through the air, watching our parachute drift farther and farther away. The man called boss roared in unwilling rage. A few men quickly strapped on parachutes and jumped. I never imagined I would get dragged into this mess out of nowhere. What exactly was this woman's identity? Why was she being hunted by different gangs? What kind of background did she have? I was just about to demand answers from her when I noticed her eyelids slowly closing. The hand around my waist went limp, and she passed out. Hey, do not fall asleep. Wake up. Terrified out of my mind, I held her even tighter. Did you faint from fear? Hey, damn, that attack just ripped the parachute. And the woman was already unconscious. I prayed silently in my heart. Oh heaven, oh earth, am I really going to die here? Below us was the endless sea. I just hoped the parachute would hold together a little longer. I did not want to lose my life. I did not want to die here this soon, to end my life in such a ridiculous way. This is not what I wanted. But the parachute kept dropping at terrifying speed. I had lived for over 20 years, and I had never realized I was this unlucky. Everything had landed on me today, before I could think much more. Then came a huge splash. The two of us crashed hard into the sea, sending up a huge spray of water. I swallowed a few mouthfuls before I could react and bobbed back up, gasping in misery. Good thing I could swim. Otherwise, I really would have died here today. After splashing around on the surface for a few moments, I finally calmed myself down. A huge pool of blood had already spread across the water, as if someone had spilled a bucket of red dye, sending wave after wave of shocking red through the sea. What was going on? Where had all this blood come from? I scanned the area, but there was no sign of that woman anywhere. Shit, those people just said she was injured. Could this blood be hers? This woman was definitely no ordinary person. I had no idea when those people would come after us. If I got involved in this, I would definitely be in huge trouble. But if I did not save her, she would definitely drown. The two thoughts tore at me. In the end, I shut my eyes in pain and dived into the sea. I quickly locked onto her position in the water and swam toward her. Using every bit of strength I had to drag the woman ashore. I had no idea where we were. From the fishing nets hanging outside every house, it looked like a fishing village. My eyes quickly locked onto one nearby house, the closest and fastest to reach. So I decided to go there for help. I'll be right back to save you. I set the woman down on the ground and, whether she could hear me or not, ran alone to the front of the house and knocked. Hello, is anyone home? I need help. Hello, is anyone there? Please open the door. Not long after, the wooden door creaked open, revealing a kindly face. The woman looked slightly surprised. And you are? Hello. The plane I was on had an accident, and someone has fallen into the sea. She is badly injured. Please, I need your help. The woman looked startled and glanced toward the figure lying on the shore. Then she shouted into the house. Dear, come out quick. We need to save someone. The fisherman came out in a few quick steps, and without a word, carried the woman back inside. Sir, your woman is badly hurt. This looks like a gunshot wound. Yes, we just ran into hijackers on the plane. They robbed us, and even opened fire on us. The fisherman slapped his thigh in anger. Just you wait, this world has gone mad. I have a family remedy. No matter how big the wound, just put it on. And she will be fine by tomorrow. That amazing? That's amazing. It's the first time I've heard of medicine like that, the woman said with a smile. His family has fished for generations. Last time he was bitten on the arm by a big fish. A chunk of flesh came off, but after he applied it, it healed up beautifully. Really? Hearing that, I felt a little chilled. The woman brought over a basin of water. Wash your woman's wounds first. I'll apply the medicine later. I looked down at the woman. Her arms were wrapped around my waist, and she rubbed her head against my chest, as if she were clutching some solid support and sleeping soundly. At a time like this woman still could not resist getting fresh with me. Was she unconscious? How was she still pulling this kind of stunt? Your woman seems really fond of you. Even injured, she is still holding on to you. Young people have it good. Back in our day, even holding hands made us blush. Please excuse us for the embarrassment. I kept a polite smile on my face. But in truth, I was furious at this shameless woman. The woman was just about to tease the young man when her gaze fell on the woman's face. But then she froze. I saw a flash of surprise on her face. Could this woman be someone important? Even someone in this little fishing village knows her. Grandma, do you know her? The woman thought for a moment and said to herself, she looks familiar. I feel like I've seen her somewhere before. I was stunned. She couldn't be that top-wanted criminal they always show on TV, or some fugitive who slipped out of custody, could she? From the way she was being hunted just now, she had clearly offended at least two factions. Grandma, please think harder about where you've seen her. This concerns my safety. If she is high risk, I would contact the relevant authorities immediately, and I would never shelter anything unsavory. The woman shook her head. I cannot remember. Judging by the way you two are dressed, you must be city people. With looks like that, you could easily pass for a celebrity couple. Please do not flatter us. What kind of celebrities look this battered? Young man, put this powder on her wounds. Dinner will be ready soon. I will have my wife come get you. Thank you. We really are troubling you. Not at all, no trouble. After they went out and shut the door, I finally looked at the woman and tapped her on the forehead. The woman let out a soft whimper, and her delicate brows knit slightly, as if I had touched a sore spot. I saw black blood seeping from her body, with blood still gushing nonstop from her chest. Though I was reluctant, I still took off her top for her, for no reason other than not wanting her to die here. Because I did not want her to die here and make things turn into a bigger mess. By the time I finished wiping her upper body, the basin of water was already filthy. I poured the water out, and went back outside to get another basin of hot water. I was just about to wipe her lower body, but when my fingers reached her pants, I hesitated. Forget it, just wipe it roughly. There is nothing to be afraid of. But these pants are so tight. How am I supposed to pull them off? I agonized over it for quite a while, when a cold voice suddenly rang out. What are you doing? I jumped in shock. The woman grabbed my collar and yanked me close. I accidentally pressed right against her wound. Sorry. Did I hurt you? I did not mean to. I quickly stood up. Do not misunderstand. I just wanted to wipe you down so I could put the medicine on more easily. Seeing the look in her eyes, I figured she had misunderstood something, so I kept explaining. I just could not get your pants unbuttoned. A faint, unreadable smile suddenly appeared in her bright eyes. What exactly are you trying to look at? That smile sent a chill down my spine. You do not seriously think I'm interested in you, do you? I have a girlfriend, and I would never have any improper thoughts about you. You've got a girlfriend, and you can't even get a pair of pants off. What is wrong with this world? I was getting angry out of embarrassment. Do you think when the people are together, they have to take each other's clothes off? My girlfriend and I are completely innocent. We have never done anything. I can tell. On the plane. Your kiss was a disaster. It was awful. Anyone could tell you'd never kissed anyone before. I was fine until she brought that up. Then I got even angrier. I had kept my first kiss for so many years, so that on our wedding night, we could give each other our fullest, most complete selves. I never expected to have it stolen by this woman for nothing. I do not need your opinion. I tossed the medicine to her in irritation. She smiled faintly. Not helping me. Weren't you just dying to know why I turned around? This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. You should know. Not every man is lucky enough to see all of me. My girlfriend is way better than you. I would look at her any day before I looked at you. This was the first time the woman had heard anyone was better than her. Seeing how angry I was, practically jumping in place. Her lips curved into a faint smile as she moved slowly and easily. She leaned a little closer and tugged lightly at my sleeve, and seemed about to tease me. But before she could say anything, I saw she was not sitting properly and was about to tumble off the bed. I quickly reached out to catch her, and the next second, soft lips landed on mine without warning. I froze completely, stunned for a few seconds, then shoved the woman away in a panic. What is wrong with you? Why are you acting like some shameless creep? The woman said smugly, like a little cat that had stolen a bite of fish. You came over on your own. If you hadn't fallen off the bed, would I have gone over there? I have really never seen a woman this bold. Amusement rippled through the woman's eyes, as if the angrier I got, the more fun she found it. If you think you got the short end of the stick, you can kiss me back. I pressed my thin lips together. Give me your phone. Why? I looked at this woman and faintly guessed at her identity. I kept feeling she was not a decent person. She looked like a fugitive. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Young man, dinner is ready. Oh, your girl is awake. I protested inwardly. She was not my woman at all. But out loud I said politely, we are going to trouble you for a bit. I am really sorry. The woman deliberately reminded me, you still have not applied the medicine. You still haven't put the medicine on me. As if she were saying it for someone else to hear, I turned and glared at her, as if to say, you are not disabled. Can't you do it yourself? Young man, it's been so long, and you still have not put medicine on your woman. Hurry up. It will be bad if the wound gets worse. Remember to disinfect her wound with hydrogen peroxide, and then sprinkle the powder on it. I will not disturb you two for now. Come out for dinner once you are done. With that, she shut the door, and gave the woman a fierce look. The woman smiled and nodded, as if satisfied with the result. I was grinding my teeth in fury. Half a bottle of hydrogen peroxide was poured onto the wound, bringing a faint burning sting. But the woman only let out a soft hum. This woman was pretty tough. After disinfecting her wound, I applied the powder and gently wrapped a few loops of white bandage around it. After all that, we finally stepped out of the room, one after the other, and entered the dining room. The fisherman and his wife were both sitting at the table, starving and waiting for us. The moment we came out, they greeted us warmly. Little girl, are you all right? Come on. Come sit down. You can eat now. There is nothing much to offer. Just some plain home-cooked food. I hope you do not mind. Thank you. We have already caused you far too much trouble. I knew she was never polite, so I simply thanked them for her. After I sat down, the woman still stood there without moving. Her gaze swept around the tiny tiled house. What kind of place is this? The moment she spoke, she carried an air of dominance over everyone else. The woman did not dare be careless, and introduced it warmly. This is Fisherman Village. It lies on the border of South City. South City? I've heard it's about a 10-hour drive from East City. My phone. Give me my phone. There's no cell service here. The town has one telephone. Tomorrow I will have my old man take you there. It is only 2 hours away. There are no other communication devices nearby. This village has lived off fishing for generations. so they rarely have contact with the outside world. I thought she was being rude, so I tugged her sleeve to signal her to sit down. The woman did not resist and sat down beside me. On the table were a fish, a pot of fish soup, and a few bowls of rice, all served in rough pottery. Even the bowls and chopsticks looked chipped and worn, but they were very clean, and they must have been used for more than 10 years. The woman suddenly lost her appetite. "Little girl, why are you not eating? Come on, eat while it is hot." The woman called out and picked up a piece of fish to give her, but the woman stopped her. "No." The woman's hand froze in midair. Not expecting her kindness to be rejected, I hurried to smooth things over. "She means she can serve herself. You eat first, and I'll get her some." After saying that, I carefully took the fish from the woman's chopsticks and put it into the woman's bowl. Then I picked up the fish tail for the woman. "Since you're so picky, there are plenty of bones, so take your time picking them out." I suddenly felt a guilty little thrill of revenge. How could the woman not see through my thoughts? This man really is biased. He deliberately gave himself the fish tail, which had the most bones, and gave the two old folks the meatiest part. When the woman saw this, she didn't get angry at all, and even let a faint smile curl on her lips. "At home, aren't you the one who always picks the bones out for me? I only eat fish you pick for me." I was grinding my teeth, but with the two elders there, I could only force my anger down and say with a strained smile, "You're already an adult. Stop being childish and eat. Aren't you going to feed me?" The moment she said that, the two elders who had just picked up their chopsticks froze. Or should unrelated people step out? Unrelated people? I almost coughed up blood. "Please, this is their house. You're the unrelated one here, okay? Where exactly does that natural air of superiority and that self-important attitude come from? Hurry up and eat." The woman pressed down on my bowl and watched me with obvious interest. "Are you hoping I feed you? Do you want super rice?" "You." I was so furious, I could not even speak. How do you usually eat?" "Eat however you normally do. No need to worry about us." The woman finally awkwardly tried to smooth things over. I was just about to explain that it was not like that, but the woman spoke first. "We usually feed each other mouth to mouth." The fisherman could not help spewing a mouthful of rice. "Dear, what are you doing?" The woman hurriedly patted his back. "We were eating just fine. What happened?" While their attention was not on us, I hissed in exasperation, "Enough." The woman stayed thoroughly entertained, as if saying, "Either you feed me, or I feed you." I finally snapped and picked up the woman's bowl. I stuffed the fish, bones and all, into her mouth and said through gritted teeth, "If you like eating fish bones at home, there's no need to be embarrassed here. They will not think you are strange. Come on, eat more." I practically shoved all my resentment into her mouth. The two elders looked like their eyeballs were about to pop out. Who on earth likes eating fish bones these days? Annie, don't worry. Her digestive system is excellent. Even if she swallowed this bowl, she could digest it. I fed her another bite out of pure spite. The woman did not get angry and just kept smiling at me. From an outsider's point of view, we looked like lovers who had been deeply in love for years, unbelievably close. Just when I thought I had won, the woman suddenly leaned toward me and placed the fish in her mouth into mine. My eyes flew wide open. It took me several seconds to react. She had actually taken what she'd been eating and fed it all to me. I suddenly felt like vomiting, but the woman forced her lips against mine and made me swallow the food. The two people beside us were staring in stunned silence. Was this really how people fed each other? That was so intimate. We have really learned something. Have we been cut off from the outside world for too long? Are young people these days all this open? I was already being kissed so hard I could not breathe, and I instinctively swallowed the food. My first reaction was to brace for a fish bone getting stuck in my throat, but after I swallowed it, no bone scratched my throat at all. I looked at the woman in surprise. The woman picked up the rough tissue beside her and wiped the fish bones from her mouth. Her movements were graceful. I could not believe how she had done it. The woman finally spoke, mercifully done tormenting me. "Are you going to eat by yourself, or do you want me to feed you?" The woman finally said, mercifully. I hurriedly picked up my chopsticks. "I will do it myself." I did not look at her anymore and started eating big mouthfuls. The woman stopped making things difficult for me. She unconcernedly picked me a large piece of fish belly and even removed the bones. "Eat slower," she urged, like a parent. I wanted to eat even faster, as fast as possible to get away from this little demon. That meal ended in sheer agony. The woman opened a trunk and took out the plain coarse clothes she had treasured for years. Young man, you have not washed up yet. These are the clothes my husband wore when we got married. If you do not mind them, you can wear them. The bath water is already ready. It is in that room. I hesitated and did not dare take them. How could I possibly accept that? Those are the clothes you wore when you married your husband. I cannot wear them now. I kept them only as a keepsake. We do not have any better clothes here either. I hope you won't mind. The woman warmly shoved the clothes into my hands. I could not refuse, so I had to accept them. Unexpectedly, the woman suddenly said, "These clothes don't suit you." I could not help firing back. "What business is that of yours? Then bring me a better set to wear." "Fine." I had not expected her to agree so readily, so I brazenly said, "That included tonight's meal, medical expenses, and lodging. You had to repay everything tenfold." 10 times. The woman only said lightly, "Fine." Normal people would never pay 10 times the price for tonight's expenses, because it truly was not worth it. But what I did not expect was, is this woman insane or something? Anyone normal would have ignored me the second they heard 10 times the price. How could she possibly agree so easily? "Can you give me my phone now?" The woman looked into my eyes as if she had already seen through everything about me. "How did you know I had it on me?" "Before I jumped out of the plane. I hid it so it would not fall out." At her words, I reluctantly took the phone out of my pocket. The woman dialed a number I knew all too well. I could hear a leader's commanding presence in the way she spoke, and I could not help wondering who she really was. The woman finished the call in just a few words, then created a new contact in my phone, and saved her name. "This is my contact information. This is my contact number. You saved my life. Whenever you need my help, just come find me." I snatched back the phone, half believing her and half doubting her. She was being hunted herself. Would going to her really not get me into trouble? "Relax. I am not going to look for you." I did not plan to waste any more breath on her and was about to go shower. "For this favor alone, you can name any condition, no matter what it is. I'll agree to it." "Anything." I stopped in my tracks and looked back at her. "Are you sure?" A ruler doesn't go back on their word. Seeing her putting on such a show, I could not help mocking her. "If I wanted a villa and a luxury car, you would agree to all of it. Then so be it, as you wish. I'll give you the luxury car and the villa, and throw in me, Qinghuan, as a bonus. How about that?" As expected, she was only running her mouth. Arguing with her was a complete waste of time. I said bluntly, "Move aside. Do not block me from showering." While the fisherwoman was clearing the dishes, she suddenly remembered something. "Isn't that girl the one they mentioned on TV the other day? Qinghuan, the CEO of a company worth hundreds of billions." Yes, that has to be her. It is her. I remember now. The fisherman was mending his net. "You've been watching too much TV. How could a CEO possibly come to a place like ours?" The fisherwoman argued. "If she can afford to fly, she can't be an ordinary person. The CEOs on TV don't all fly around the world on planes." The old man chuckled. "Silly old woman. These days, plenty of people can afford to fly. It is just that we have not been out in so long and seen the outside world." Their voices drifted out through the window. While I was washing up, I remembered her name, Qinghuan, and murmured it a few times. Why does that sound so familiar? I reached for the shampoo, but my fingertips suddenly brushed against something wriggling, and my heart clenched hard. I looked up on instinct and let out a sharp gasp of shock. My voice was tight with fear. Qinghuan heard the noise and hurried over at once. Before the two elders even had time to react, she had already pushed open the bathroom door and walked in. The wooden bathtub was tipped over to the side. I was standing in the corner, half-dressed, and looking a little disheveled. Qinghuan stepped forward and gently draped the clothes over my shoulders. Her voice was calm, but full of concern. "What's wrong?" Qinghuan calmly scanned the bathroom. There was no one else inside. I was tense like a drum bowstring, my hand clamping hard onto her shoulder. My knuckles were rigid, and my voice was dragged down to a whisper, carrying uncontrollable panic. "There's something," she asked gently. "What did you see?" My body went rigid. I took a small step back, my shoulders shaking with tension. My eyes stayed locked on the corner of the wall, and my voice turned deep and hoarse. Cockroaches can fly. Fu Qinghuan froze for a moment, then gave a soft laugh, helpless and indulgent. You're scared of cockroaches? Get out of here. I spoke quickly, almost ordering her. Just thinking about touching its back a moment ago sent a shiver through me. Every hair on my body stood on end. Cockroaches had been my lifelong psychological nightmare. The next second, the cockroach suddenly flew up from the corner and landed on the window. I jolted, my face turning pale at once, and instinctively tried to back away. Go. In my panic, I tightened my grip on the woman's shoulder. Fu Qinghuan let out a soft hiss. Her wound seemed to be pulled. Don't move. Her voice was still gentle. The more panicked you get, the more likely you are to attract it. I froze at once, sweat beading at my temples, my voice tightening. Take me out of here. Fu Qinghuan glanced at the dim, filthy bathroom and frowned slightly. The old man outside asked anxiously, Young man, are you all right? She stood in the doorway, her voice gentle, and would not let the old man in. I'm fine, just a small scare. Then she took my arm and quickly led me out of the bathroom and back to the bedroom. She helped me sit down by the bed. Do you really have to be this scared? There was a faint smile in her voice, and I could not tell whether to stand or sit. My body was still tense, trembling faintly. My mind was still full of that flying cockroach from earlier. I braced both hands on either side of me, my back rigid as I forced myself to stay calm. Fu Qinghuan looked at me, at the way I was all tensed up and forcing myself to hold on, and her gaze darkened slightly. She suddenly felt that a man who was clearly terrified, yet still refused to show weakness, was especially heart-stirring to her. You sleep in the bed tonight. The woman felt that if she did not leave now, she might do something reckless. Just as she was about to leave, she heard me say, Wait. I stared in fear at the slow-crawling bug on the wall, not daring to look away for even a second. This place was full of all kinds of creepy things. Spiders, insects, and all kinds of creepy crawlies everywhere. You are not even afraid of bugs, are you? Are you even a man? I shook my head, wanting to say that when I was little, I was not afraid of anything. Absolutely nothing. But after being scared by a flying cockroach, I was terrified of every insect after that. Put your clothes on first. At the woman's reminder, I looked down at myself in confusion and realized I was only wrapped in a bath towel. I was already falling apart, and now I was even more broken. I got dressed in a few quick motions and was so humiliated I wanted to die. Sleep? The woman did not make fun of me. She blew out the oil lamp and lay down beside me. Only then did I finally react. You are sleeping here tonight. What else? I said, hesitating. To strangers sleeping in the same room. If people found out, it would be bad for your reputation. The woman cut me off. Relax. I am not interested in you. Besides, I am injured. Nothing will happen. I thought about it and admitted it made sense. But I still could not let my guard down. Seeing my hesitant expression, the woman said, If a cockroach shows up, I can help you. I am not like you. I am not that afraid of bugs. That was what I wanted to hear. After a whole day of running myself ragged, I was exhausted too. So I slowly lowered my guard and went to sleep. The next morning, the howling wind rattled the paper-covered windows. Whether it was because the wind was too strong, or because the old house had not been maintained for years, I did not know. But several roof tiles had been blown loose and crashed to the ground. As the luxury plane drew closer and closer, more and more tiles came loose, and before long, it had torn off more than half the roof. With nothing protecting the things inside the house, everything was blown all over the place, and even the windows were broken. The two elderly people who were tidying fishing nets in the yard were terrified and hurriedly hid in a corner. Watching that grand, imposing plane, it seemed like it wanted to come down straight from the sky. But the space was too small. After circling overhead a few times, it had no choice but to land on the beach not far away. Quite a few fishermen living nearby ran out to watch the excitement. This isolated little fishing village had never seen such a stir. The noise woke me up. I realized I was actually sleeping while holding Fu Qinghuan. I hurriedly sat up. Fortunately, we were both fully dressed. Looking at Fu Qinghuan, she was looking at me with obvious disgust. You treated me like a body pillow all night, pulling me over and hugging me back and forth. Were you trying to let me sleep or not? What? I hugged her all night. I thought back to last night's dream. So the soft little thing I had been hugging in my dream was not some kitten or puppy at all. It was this woman? Then why did you not wake me up? I was worried that if I woke you up, what if you went wild? Then it would not stop at a few hugs. Why did this woman have to talk so damn badly? I suddenly came to my senses. What was that noise outside just now? My people have come to pick us up. Qinghuan rose lazily. Let's go. Now. But I have not even brushed my teeth or washed my face yet. The woman teased. Should I take you somewhere else? Or, do you want to wash up in that room with the cockroaches? The moment I heard the word cockroach, I immediately shook my head furiously. Even though I did not want to leave with her, I had no other choice. I walked out of the old house with her. A crowd of fishermen had already gathered outside to watch. Not far away stood a magnificent private jet. Its fuselage bore a private logo, looking sleek, luxurious, and impossibly high-end. I had been spoiled since childhood. What kind of luxury jet had I not flown on? But this jet, worth $1 billion, stood above every other luxury aircraft. When it was first unveiled, it had once caused a stir among plenty of tycoons, or so I heard. It was said to have a living room, office area, entertainment zone, lounge, bedrooms, and all the other essential spaces. A woman stepped off the plane. One look at that presence and I thought, that must be a legendary rich kid. I never expected that rich heiress to walk toward me, with a faint smile on her face. I thought, good God, is this my admirer? Even if I am this attractive? How would an admirer know I needed help in this little fishing village? But if she was not here for me, why did she keep looking my way? The woman walked toward me step by step. If she confessed to me later, what excuse should I use to turn her down? I already have a girlfriend. I do not want any other woman. While I was agonizing over it, the woman passed by me and walked straight up to Qinghuan. Miss, I finally found you. The subordinate deserves death for failing you. I never expected those two groups to dare make a move on the plane. What? Miss? I looked at the woman. What exactly was her identity? She sounded like someone with serious backing. Have you checked everything clearly? Qinghuan did not sound angry. Instead, she asked in a calm, casual tone. Besides the Black Dragon Society and the Polar Organization, there was another mysterious group. Before the Black Dragon Society and the Polar Organization made their move, the other side had already blown up the wing and come in hard. Who were they after? The person hesitated and said, their target was a man. But the passengers suffered heavy casualties, so we have not found any leads yet. After reporting, the woman sneaked a glance at me. Who is this man? And he was actually standing that close to my lady. You have to know, my lady has always kept her distance from men. She hates close contact with men, yet she does not seem to mind him. Qinghuan's gaze darkened slightly, as if she were thinking something over. After a moment, she ordered, find someone else to redesign and renovate this house. You tore off their roof when you landed just now. The woman lowered her head guiltily and said, the subordinate made a mistake. My mistake, miss. Qinghuan asked the woman beside her. Can you grow vegetables? The woman was so shocked she could not even speak. From their master and servant exchange, this woman was definitely no ordinary person. Seeing her say nothing, the woman beside her frowned slightly. Miss is asking you a question. The woman answered hurriedly. Yes, give her a vegetable garden too. After giving the order, Qinghuan turned to look at me. I never expected her to take last night's joke seriously. For a moment, I did not even know how to answer. The lodging fee. I will replace their home with a brand new one. As for the medical bills you mentioned, Xiao, write them a 1 million check. Hearing her lady's order, Xiao was about to write it when she suddenly thought of something. Miss, there is not even a nearby bank where they can cash a check. If this couple gets the check, forget whether they could even cash it within 1,000 miles. Even bringing the cash back would be a hassle. Then cash, Qinghuan said decisively. Xiao brought a suitcase full of cash from the plane and set it before the woman. This is Our Lady's sincerity. Please accept it. The woman froze. She opened the case with trembling hands. Inside were stack after stack of neatly arranged RMB. The sheer amount made the woman faint on the spot. Old lady. The fisherman hurried to support her, then looked into the case. And he fainted too. So much RMB. They had never seen so much in their lives. Follow me. Qinghuan walked ahead. I hurried after her and boarded the plane. Inside the European-style cabin were 8 sofas, with audio and video systems everywhere. I knew this was the best-performing luxury jet of them all. Take him to wash up. Qinghuan gave the order, and she went into the bedroom shower and left the other large bathroom for me. Xiao made an inviting gesture. Sir, please follow me. I followed behind Xiao and was just about to ask who Qinghuan was. Then I thought better of it. we would part ways as soon as we landed anyway. And there would not be many chances to meet again. These are toiletries, and these are clean clothes. The bathroom is over there. Shower supplies are all provided. Xiao Xiao introduced them politely. I marveled silently to myself, looking at the clothes beside me. These are for me too. Yes, sir. My tone was a little mocking. Besides the clothes, there was men's underwear too. Just thinking about it made me sick. Xiao Xiao thought I had misunderstood something and hurried to explain. Miss ordered these in a text last night. They should all be your size. My ears turned red at once. When did she send a text? Why did I not know anything about it? At 11 last night. With Xiao Xiao's reminder, I remembered. By then I had already been in bed for a while. Did she wait until I fell asleep? She secretly used my phone to send a text, damn it. She did not also peek at everything else on my phone, did she? At that thought, shame and rage flooded my chest. I slammed the bathroom door shut with a bang. Sir, if you need anything, you can use the call system on the wall. I am at your service at any time. After saying that, Xiao Xiao withdrew respectfully. I cursed in my head while washing up. She actually stole my phone to use it, so shameless. I cursed her thousands of times in my head, but it still did not vent my anger. After I finished showering and came out, Qinghuan was already eating at the table. I noticed she had showered too. She smelled nice, and after changing into a clean dress, Qinghuan seemed completely transformed. Even the way she cut her steak looked elegant. She was definitely not from an ordinary wealthy family. The moment I sat down, I heard her say, "You saved my life last night. Out of gratitude, I will give you 10 million as thanks." I stopped moving. Why did that sound so harsh? Hearing that, Xiao Xiao immediately wrote out a 10 million check and respectfully handed it to me. Sir, please accept Our Lady's kindness. I refused coldly. No need. What happened last night was just a small favor. The moment Qinghuan said that, Xiao Xiao froze. What? That man was actually with Miss last night. What shocking news. You have to know. Her lady had always stayed away from men. Not to mention a subordinate. Even her assistant is female, like her. Usually, when the old master tries to arrange a match for her. What kind of wind blew yesterday, anyway? Or does this man have some kind of magic? How else could he make Miss surrender so obediently? I threw the check at Qinghuan. I should say this is the service fee I'm paying you. Thinking about it, I was still annoyed. So I took out 1 yuan from my wallet and tossed it over. Since you behaved well last night, this is an extra reward from me. Serving fee. Behaved well. Xiao Xiao was even more shocked. Shocked as she was still quick enough to stop the check and caught the 1 yuan at the same time. Otherwise, both things would have hit her lady in the face. Qinghuan looked at me with a suggestive gaze. I cleared my throat and said in a low voice, I hope you will not go around talking about what happened last night. After all, nothing happened between us. I do not know how many men you have outside, but I have a girlfriend, so please think of me more, Miss Fu. Xiao Xiao was beyond shocked by then. How could Miss fall for a man who already has a girlfriend? And this man did not even take her seriously. You have to know. Our Lady is ranked first on the Forbes rich list for 6 years in a row. The #1 heiress. In terms of talent or looks. What about her is not enough to make people tremble? Yet this man simply did not take my lady seriously at all. Xiao Xiao lamented inwardly. Sir, your judgment really needs work. Even if you do not know Miss's identity. Just from the luxury of this plane alone. Miss is clearly far better than your girlfriend, no matter how you look at it. If you will not hurry up and cling to this golden thigh, fine. So why are you kicking it twice? You sure are devoted to your girlfriend. Qinghuan's tone was impossible to read, but Xiao Xiao could tell. Her lady was jealous. Well, this is getting more and more interesting. But miss, don't be jealous. Whatever you want, isn't it always easy for you to get? Not to mention the other woman already has a girlfriend. Even if she were married, you could still take her away, couldn't you? I let out a cold laugh. Miss Fu, you flatter me. I am just not as promiscuous as you are. Promiscuous. That man actually dared say Our Lady was promiscuous. Xiao Xiao nearly lost her breath. Yet Qinghuan was not angry at all. Instead, she smiled and said, Eat. Once you're finished, you'll have the strength to argue with me. I did not hold back at all with the food in front of me. I had saved her life yesterday. After she had pissed me off so many times, it was only fair to eat her breakfast once. Thinking that, I ate without restraint. Qinghuan watched me with a smile and casually cut a piece of steak onto my plate. Try it, it tastes good. I swept the steak aside with my knife and fork. Who wants to eat your spit? I'll cut my own. Xiao Xiao was truly stunned. This gentleman was so unfiltered. He did whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. He did not take her lady seriously at all, and after following Miss since childhood, this was the first time anyone had ever treated her lady like her. You have to know, in the past, which man did not hope to win Mrs. favor? But this gentleman was truly a breath of fresh air. After I finished breakfast, the plane had already landed at East City's civilian airport. Thanks for the hospitality, Miss Fu. I never want to see you again. I hope we never see each other again in this lifetime. I got off the plane without hesitation and hailed a taxi, leaving without looking back. Qinghuan watched my disappearing back and seemed to be thinking about something. Xiao Xiao, standing nearby, asked carefully, Miss, are we going home? She could tell Miss was very unhappy. Back to the company. Qinghuan's tone was flat, and she seemed a little disappointed. Xiao Xiao, unable to help herself, added, should I check his identity? Qinghuan shot her a cold look, as if blaming Xiao Xiao for meddling. Xiao Xiao shivered and was just about to say she had spoken too much, when Qinghuan said, Xiao Xiao, I think I understand you better and better. Seeing the strange smile curl at Mrs. Red Lips, Xiao Xiao shivered, not sure whether she should feel relieved or worried. This was the first time Miss had ever acted like this over a man. Just now, to send him back, they even passed their own villa district without stopping, and specifically flew to East City's only civilian airport. Also, it would be convenient for him to catch a ride. That did not make sense. After only one night, Xiao Xiao lowered her head to accept the order. Yes, miss, I will check right away. Qinghuan's gaze fell thoughtfully out the window. Once I got in the car, I gave the driver an address. Qingyang Group, thanks. The taxi driver heard the name and asked in mild surprise. You mean Qingyang Group on Linjiang South Road? Is there a problem? The taxi driver opened his mouth but said nothing. This young master probably has not been back for too long, so he does not even know the company changed its name. He shifted into gear, said nothing else, and pressed the accelerator toward the destination. I breathed in the air outside the window. East City, I'm finally back. The wind on my face carried a long mist feeling, and my mood lifted. Then I suddenly remembered I had not texted my parents yet. Forget it. I'll just show up later and give them a surprise. Today was Lu Nianian's birthday. The gift I had worked so hard to prepare for her had vanished after I jumped from the plane, and I was a little irritated. If it were not for that woman who stole my first kiss, I would not be stuck dealing with this mess. I took out my phone and called the bakery. Do you have any ready-made cakes right now? Young Master Yan, is that you? The receptionist almost dropped the phone. For more than 10 years, all the Yan family's desserts and pastries had been ordered from her shop. So, she knew every Yan family member's number by heart. But she was so shocked right now, because she had not seen this number in 3 years. Yes, I'm back in the country. I want to order the biggest cake you have. Can you make it in time today? Is this from Miss Lu? At this time in previous years, the Yan family always ordered Lu Nianian a cake, and everyone in the shop knew it. But the receptionist felt it was necessary to remind me. The cake ordered by second young Master Yan has already been delivered. I did not expect Yan Yibai to be so thoughtful. My half-brother always thinks of me in every way. He even handled something as small as ordering a cake himself. Thinking that, I smiled in relief. Then there is no need. Thank you. There was nothing awkward about meeting empty-handed. After all, we were family now. With that in mind, I lifted my eyes to the view outside the window. The closer I got to my family's company, the better the surroundings became. You have to know, my family's company was one of the biggest enterprises in East City. While I was lost in thought, the taxi slowly pulled to a stop. We're here. I paid and got out of the car, only to realize it had changed its name. What was going on with Qingxi Group? I looked around in half disbelief. This really was the Yan family's turf. Everything looked exactly the same as before, but I still could not make sense of that name. 2 employees with work badges hurried past me. Didn't Mr. Yan say yesterday that he would not be here today? We need to stay on top of this proposal. Mr. Yan has so much experience. Under his leadership, profits have really doubled a lot over the past 3 years. I quickly stopped them. Hey, wait. May I ask, Is the Mr. Yan you're talking about Yan Yuandong? Yes. The two of them smiled awkwardly. Then, if there is nothing else, sorry to bother you. The two of them gave me a strange look and hurried off. So the company had simply changed its name. The doubts and unease that had just surged up in me faded away at that moment. I stepped through the company doors. Hello, who are you looking for? The receptionist saw someone arrive and immediately stood up respectfully. She greeted me with a sweet smile. Hello, my name is Yan Chen. I am Yan Yuandong's son. I am the executive president of this group. Please help me report it. Tell him I'm back in the country and need to go up right now. The moment I finished speaking, the other woman burst out laughing, and her earlier respect vanished. In its place was contempt. Sir, did you come to the wrong place? There is only one Yan who serves as the group's executive president. That is our Mr. Yan Yuandong. You say you are his son? Here, Mr. Yan only has one son. That would be our chairman Yan Yabai. My younger brother. Don't you even bother asking around before you lie? I was completely baffled. Yan Yabai has become chairman too. 3 years ago, my grandfather passed away. When the lawyer announced the will, he made it crystal clear. 80% of Qinghuan Group's shares, and the Yan family's assets worth over 10 billion, would be contested fairly between me and my father, Yan Yuandong. Whoever first met the inheritance conditions would be qualified to inherit. Before the will was carried out, my father and I were both the group's executive presidents. We handled the company affairs together. The will did not mention Yan Yabai at all. What did Yan Yabai have to do with any of this? I asked with a smile. Could there be some mistake? I'm telling the truth. The Yan Yabai you're talking about is my little brother. The receptionist smiled politely. Really? I've worked here for 3 years. I have never heard that Chairman Yan has an older brother. I insisted. Yan Yuandong is my father. If I were a liar, how would I know his name? The receptionist's mouth twitched. She decided to stop being polite. Too many people know our Mr. Yan's name. But I do not know where you got the news that our Mr. Yan is not here today. So, you came here pretending to be his son. But let me give you one piece of advice. Fraud is not a good line of work. She lectured me in the tone of an elder. I did not know whether to laugh or cry. You really have misunderstood. I am his real son. No doubt about it. I'm still Ma Yan's daughter, for that matter. You look decent enough. Of all the things you could do, why pick this kind of dirty business? I think you're trying to sneak into our Mr. Yan's office to steal something, aren't you? Look at those fake designer labels. You dress the part, but I never expected you to be a con artist. When I came in just now, the receptionist even thought you were some important client. Turns out you're nothing but a total fraud. I really am not lying to you. My dad and I are both executive presidents of this group. Yesterday, there was even someone claiming to be our chairman Lu's boyfriend, making a huge scene here. How ridiculous. You would have been more believable if you used that excuse instead. I was even more confused. You mean Lu Nianian? I really am her boyfriend. The receptionist rolled her eyes and almost fainted. I'm still Wang Sikong's girlfriend. Looks like nothing gets through to you. If you do not leave now, I will have security throw you out. I knew it was useless to waste more breath on her, so I said patiently, how about this? Call the internal line. I will speak to your Mr. Yan myself. That is the best way to prove who I am. The receptionist rolled her eyes hard. Sir, if you keep being this stubborn, I am really going to call the police. Leave now. Today is a big day. Do not bring us bad luck. I continued asking, what big day? You do not know. Then let me tell you. Today is our future young mistress, Chairman Li's birthday. All the executives are up in the Sky Garden celebrating her. Only you are standing here like a fool, pretending to be our Mr. Yan's son. If you have time to scam people, you might as well find a way to go there and see what the real Yan family young master looks like. I knew it was a waste of time to keep arguing with her. I hailed a taxi and got in. I felt both annoyed and amused. Should I say this receptionist was deliberately making things difficult? Or should I say she was just very dedicated? I took out my phone and called my parents. After several tries, no one answered. I called my brother again, Lu Nianian. After that, I called Lu Nianian again. But without exception, all 4 of them ignored my calls. I turned to the driver and asked, Master, I have a question I want to ask you about. This Qinghuan group, how did it become Qingxi Group? No idea. I have been coming here for 2 years, and it has always been Qingxi Group. I have never heard of any Qinghuan group. I nodded. I did not ask any further. After arriving at East City First Hotel, I went up to the top floor Sky Garden. Since I did not have an invitation, the 2 security guards absolutely refused to let me in. No matter how I explained it, they stayed completely unbending. They would not show me the slightest bit of leniency. Move, move, move. Stop getting in the way here. I really am Yan Yuandong's son. If you do not leave, we are going to use force. Isn't that a Chen? A familiar smile suddenly appeared in front of me. I lifted my eyes. Brother Hao. 3 years without seeing him, and he had only gotten more handsome. When the 2 security guards saw him, they hurried to greet him. Hello, young master Shi. Shi Hao clearly did not take them seriously and turned to look at me. When did you get back to the country? How come I never heard anything from that flirtatious sister of mine? A couple of days ago, when the old man was pushing her to get married, she even used you as a shield. She told the old man to carve one for her based on your looks. We laughed ourselves silly. Brother Hao, stop teasing me. Ever since we were kids, you've been making fun of me. How is that a joke? Being able to catch the eye of my flirtatious sister and have her chase you for 3 years. You broke her record for the longest pursuit. You were the hardest one to deal with. Shi Hao smiled and patted my shoulder. Brother Hao, cut it out. You came just in time. They do not believe who I am. Please help me vouch for me. Shi Hao tapped his chin lightly. Then, what do I get out of it? Count it as me owing Brother Hao a favor. I will definitely pay it back someday. Anything I can do. Just say the word, Brother Hao. You all see that clearly now. If you know what's good for you, get out of the way. The 2 security guards had no idea that the man in front of them was really the Yan family's eldest son. They quickly let me through and thanked Shi Hao. I was just about to leave when I heard Shi Hao say, But Chen, you really came at the wrong time today. Brother Hao, I do not understand what you mean. As far as I know, there's a good show about to start. I love nothing more than joining the fun. A show that is not good enough. I would never come in person. I was completely lost. And then the light suddenly dimmed. Only one beam of light remained in the hall, shining on the stage. Yan Yuandong stood on the stage with a broad smile. I have good news to announce today. About my son's marriage. The whole room cooperatively fell silent and held its breath. A merger. When was that? I was puzzled, but also curious. Dad is going to announce my marriage to Lu Nianian? Why did not he discuss it with me first? Let us welcome the Yan family's daughter-in-law, Lu Nianian, onto the stage. Yan Yuandong led the applause. I stood below the stage and clapped along. I had not seen Lu Nianian in 3 years, and she had thinned out quite a bit. A gentle smile hung on her face, making her look even more approachable. Just looking at her from far away, I already thought she was beautiful. Now let us invite my son Yan Yibai onto the stage. At Yan Yuandong's words, the whole room burst into applause, and Yan Yibai walked up with a smile. He looked even more mature than he had 3 years ago. But what I did not expect was that Lu Nianian's hand would actually be joined with Yan Yibai's. The 2 of them looked at each other tenderly, like a couple deeply in love. I almost could not stand steady. I could not believe my girlfriend and my younger brother were about to announce their marriage. Shi Hao casually caught me and held me up. Yan Yuandong's laughter rang out brightly. My son Yan Yibai will marry Lu Nianian, the Lu family's heir. Their wedding will be held on the 28th of next month. Today is not only the grand 3rd anniversary celebration of the merger between Qingyang Group and Lu Group, it is also Nianian's birthday banquet and their engagement banquet. The words engagement banquet struck me like a blow to the head, catching me completely off guard. All I heard was a buzzing in my head. A pain I had never felt before stabbed straight through my heart. The girlfriend I had loved for 8 years was about to get engaged to my younger brother. How could that be possible? On this wonderful day, I also have one regrettable thing to announce. My eldest son, Yan Chen, was on the plane that had an accident yesterday. From today on, I, Yan Yuandong, only have one son left, Yibai. With the Chen in trouble, by rights he no longer has inheritance rights. The company's future operations will have to rely on Yibai and Nianian. As soon as Yan Yuandong said that, the whole room was shocked. While they silently mourned for me, they also secretly sized up Lu Nianian and Yan Yibai. These 2 successors. Looks like King Shi Group will be changing hands. I did not expect things to turn out like this. Dad had announced my death too early, making me feel like I did not matter at all. Even if something happened to me, would Dad not come looking for me? 3 years ago, when we sent a Chen abroad, I wanted him to learn perfumery formulation, so he could help me manage the group after he came back. I never expected heaven to be jealous of talent. I can only say it simply was not meant for him. Today is a happy day. Let us set Chen's matters aside for now. Enough said. Everyone, help yourselves and have a drink. To our group's continued success. After Yan Yuandong finished, he raised his glass in a toast. The guests all raised their glasses in response. My heart felt like it was being cut apart. Looking at the man on stage, who wore such a beaming, carefree smile, I could not believe it. Was this still my father? Dad, from now on, you buy and I will honor you properly. So, do not be sad. After Lu Nianian finished toasting, she held his arm and slowly walked down from the stage. Yes, Dad. Although you have lost one son, you have gained Nianian as a daughter. Heaven has not treated you badly. You cannot have everything in life. Yin Yabai supported him with his other hand. Yan Yuandong patted his shoulder. Today, the guests also include Mr. Lin from the Lin group, and Mr. Chen from Wanhui group. I'll take you over to meet them. Yang, come too. I will be traveling often from now on. The children's matters will still require you to worry about them. What are you saying? No matter what, I am still the group chairman. Even if they are not my children, I will still take more responsibility for them. My stepmother, Zhang Yang, wore a bright, radiant smile. I looked at the four of them as a family. I suddenly felt like an outsider. Watching this scene with my own eyes, I could not stop shaking. I had only been away for 3 years, and everything had completely changed. Yin Yuandong finished greeting the presidents of the different groups with them. The family of four chatted and laughed together. They came to the dining table and were just about to eat. What interesting thing happened to make you all so happy? At the sound of my voice, the family's expression suddenly changed. Yan Yabai reacted first. He widened his eyes in disbelief. Brother, you're back. What? Should I not have come back? You're not dead. Were you hoping I was dead? No. I mean, that's impossible. Yin Yabai had not expected his older brother to come back alive. Yin Yuandong's expression changed just like his. Chen, didn't the plane you were on have an accident? I saw news reports saying no passengers survived. I gave a cold smile. So, you did not even look for me, and just sentenced me to death. I could not even describe how I felt at that moment. My own father had announced my death, and said it with complete calm. Seeing that, Zhang Yang smiled and half-reproachfully tried to smooth things over. Chen, you are being far too naughty. Since you survived, you should have at least called home, just to let us know you were safe. You have no idea how worried the four of us were. We could not sleep all night. Is that so? Because I see each of you looking full of energy. Nothing like people who lost sleep. I lifted my eyes. On the contrary, you get to inherit the assets under my name. So, you must be thrilled, right? Yan Yuandong saw my mood shift and immediately snapped at me. Yin Chen, is that any way to speak to your mother? I know about Nianian and Yabai. It is understandable if you cannot accept it right away. But with so many guests here, you still need to think about the Yan family's reputation. Put away your childish temper. Then who is going to care about my dignity? I looked at Lu Nianian with bitter resentment. As long as she was willing to give me a reasonable explanation, I could let it go and not hold it against her. But she showed not even the slightest guilt. Chen, what happened between Yabai and me is my fault. I kept the truth from you for so long, because I was afraid you would end up hysterical like this. Hysterical. I was betrayed by the people closest and dearest to me, and I am still supposed to swallow it all silently without complaint. Over these 8 years, even if you had confessed to me one day, things would never have turned out like this. You said you loved me, while secretly planning to spend your life with my younger brother. Lu Nianian, is this your love for me? By the time I said that, I was both furious and heartbroken. Yesterday she was still telling me she loved me on WeChat. How did everything change so fast today? Who can ever say for sure when it comes to feelings? Zhang Yan adjusted her shawl and advised me in the tone of an elder. Nianian and Yabai are very much in love now. Do you really have the heart to tear apart a pair of lovebirds? You can't force something that was never meant to last. Instead of tearing things apart, you should simply bless her graciously. After all, we're family. Does it make any difference whether Nianian chose you or Yabai? I shouted. Yes, it makes a difference. Yabai is Yabai, and I am me. I am the group's future heir. He is not. Did you not hear what your dad just announced? Yabai is also an heir now. He came back just in time. Nianian is pregnant. Yabai has a lot on his plate. You can help him out and lend a hand. I almost lost my footing. I felt like I had been struck by lightning. Why you? I never would have imagined. They even have a child. Brother, in a few months. My baby will be born. Soon you'll be an uncle. Happy. After Yan Yabai said that, a trace of smug provocation flashed in his eyes. Such obvious triumph. How could I not see through it? Brother, you studied abroad since you were young and know so much. Why not name our baby? Yan Yabai knew I was in pain, and still deliberately salted my wound. That's a good idea. Yan Yuandong agreed. Chen, if you're feeling uneasy, let the child call you godfather. And you can name the baby too. How about it? I gave a cold laugh. Is this supposed to be charity? If this hadn't happened, I never would have known my own family could be so shameless. Then let's call him Yan Zhonli, I said with a cold smile, so that when this child grows up, he'll gradually drift away from you. How about that? Zhang Yan said angrily. Yin Chen, have all the manners I've taught you over the years gone to waste? Annie, you should teach yourself first. I picked up a glass of wine. Since you're getting married, shouldn't I toast you? Yan Yabai still kept his gentlemanly composure. I'm glad you made it back alive. Nyanian, and I need your blessing for our wedding, I said with a smile. Then I wish you to be infertile, yet still end up with a house full of children. Then I hurled the wine in his face. Lu Nyanian jumped in shock. Chen, brother, you've gone too far. No matter what, Yabai is your brother too. How could you do that? You have no manners at all. Yan Yuandong never expected me to make such a rude move. Yet I didn't think there was anything wrong with what I did. Instead, I picked up another glass of wine and walked over to Lu Nyanian. This glass is to toast you. From now on, we're done for good. After that, I splashed the glass forward. Zhang Yan had just tried to stop me, but it was already too late. The deep red liquid ruined Lu Nyanian's makeup. Seeing my own father and girlfriend care so much about someone else made my heart ache terribly. Were these still the family I knew? I smashed the empty wine glass to the floor. Then I looked at Yan Yuandong with hatred and said, word by word, this glass is like the bond between us. It's gone for good. From now on, we're through. You go your way, and I'll go mine. Like an injured lone wolf, I left everyone's sight. Outside, without knowing when, a torrential downpour had begun. Heartbroken, I walked into the rain, to be baptized by this world's coldness. Wake up. You've been foolish for 8 years. It's time to come to your senses. The wet, cold rain mercilessly soaked my heart. I let out a miserable laugh. I felt my existence was nothing but a joke. I laughed until I cried again. The downpour drenched my body. I was in so much pain I couldn't pull myself out. Many cars kept honking at me. You lunatic. If you want to die, get the hell away from here and don't dirty my car. Move. Get out of the way. Are you deaf? Can't you hear the horn? I burst out laughing. I was like a madman. The uglier they got with me, the harder they cursed me, the more wildly I laughed. Suddenly, a black car came through the intersection. It sped straight toward me. I recognized the model. Wasn't this model and color exactly Lu Nyanian's? I stood frozen in place. Nyanian had come looking for me. Had she realized she was wrong? So, she came to beg for my forgiveness? I didn't know whether I should forgive her. Our 8-year relationship was like stitchwork, woven thread by thread, into my youth. To pull out the part of those memories that belonged to her, I couldn't do it. With a dull thud, I watched that black car hit me. My mind went blank in an instant. So, she really wanted me dead. My eyes flew wide open. I couldn't believe it. Just because I splashed Yan Yabai with a glass of wine. So, she came all this way to run me over? The more I laughed, the weirder it sounded. My body crashed hard to the ground and lost all feeling. The rain poured mercilessly over me. Bright red spread across the ground. Miss, you've hit someone. A frantic voice suddenly rang out. I'm not used to Mr. Lu's car. By the time I spotted someone in the rain, I couldn't stop the car anymore. The person in the back seat didn't even lift her eyelids. Her voice cool and flat. Get someone to handle it. Xiao Xiao reached out and wiped the windshield. After looking closely, Miss, it seems to be Mr. Yan. I hit Mr. Yan. Those words made the person in the back seat raise her head. It's him. With a bang, the car door swung open. Fu Qinghuan strode quickly toward that figure. Before Xiao Xiao could react, her young lady had already bent down and struggled to help him up. Miss, please be careful, miss. Call Dr. Zhang and go home. Yes. Fu Qinghuan looked down at the person in her arms. It's raining this hard. Chen, what are you standing there for? Why didn't you move when a car was coming? The blood on the back of his head mixed with the rainwater and stained Qinghuan's dress red. Xiao Xiao, speed up. Yes, miss. Xiao Xiao was already driving as fast as she could. Finally, Xiao Xiao drove the car into the West Bank Villa district. This area, known as the most expensive in East City, was Qinghuan's home. Hello, miss. As Qinghuan hurried ahead, doctors and nurses followed behind her into the living room. A girl as fastidious as her. How could she possibly put a man soaked to the skin on the bed? And it was a man, too. The doctors and nurses looked at each other. Miss, aren't we supposed to bandage this gentleman's wounds? Get out, all of you. What is Miss up to? Just then, a servant came in carrying a basin. After everyone else had left, she reached out and took off my wet shirt. A hot towel moved back and forth over my body. Come in. Hearing the young lady's voice, the people waiting outside the door hurried in. At a glance, they saw Qinghuan wiping my body. Hurry, treat the wound. Xiao Xiao was secretly amazed on the side. Miss had actually looked that man over from head to toe, from top to bottom. Something like this could be handed to the caregiver. If not, she could have handed it to me. How could the miss do such rough work? Don't go. I suddenly grabbed the doctor's sleeve and murmured in pain. Dr. Zhang jerked. As he applied the medicine harder, I sucked in a sharp breath from the pain. Get lost. Qinghuan shoved Dr. Zhang away. You're so clumsy. You can't even handle something this small. Qinghuan personally applied the medicine for me. Why are you doing this to me? Why? What happened? A Chen got bullied. Xiao Xiao, go find out what happened. Yes. When has the young lady ever cared this much about a man? Also, replace all the servants in the house with men. Since Qinghuan had long stayed away from men, the servants at home were all women. That was why she had personally wiped me down just now. Sir, you're awake. Who are you? I'm the servant assigned to look after you. Where am I? Yes, sir. This is the West Bank Villa District. The West Bank Villa District, East City's most expensive French-style villa district. How am I here? Do you remember assistant you accidentally hitting you? I hadn't even finished thinking when a wave of pain suddenly shot through the back of my head. You banged your head when you fell. The wound isn't deep. He already bandaged it for you. I thought it over for a moment, before finally remembering what had happened. Just as I was about to get out of bed, a servant hurried forward to stop me. You don't even remember who our young lady is, do you? I really don't remember. After I was knocked down by the car, I lost consciousness. I didn't even get a look at who saved me. I didn't have time to see it all. Where is your young lady? She went to shower. She got caught in a bit of rain today bringing you back. Somehow, I was already wearing a robe. What's going on? You were soaked by the rain, sir. The situation was urgent to keep your cold from getting worse. We specially brought you a robe. THDH this. How did this get on me? Did you help me? Sir, are there any other discomforts? And no. Right, where are my clothes? We've already washed them and put them in the drying room. Please wait. I'll go get them now. The servant bowed respectfully and withdrew. I looked around the room. The whole place was filled with exquisite, luxurious decor. Even the servant's manners and bearing were excellent. It was clear the owner of this house was of noble status. Even if the person who hit me wasn't Lunaianian, those 8 years of feelings had long since grown into a towering tree in my heart. Now it had been ripped out by the roots, and the pain made even my breathing tremble. Sir, your clothes are here. They're still a little damp. Do you want to put them on? I gave a soft hum. You can go down first. I'll handle the rest myself. I had just taken off the towel when I suddenly heard a seductive voice. The door was pushed open. I heard you woke up. A slender figure walked in. I never expected anyone to come in at a time like this. You. What are you doing here? The woman smiled, her red lips curling. This is my home. What? I froze for a few seconds. Get out. The woman gave a soft laugh. Since when do you chase the owner out like this? It's not like there's anything worth seeing. What's the big deal? What do you mean? Nothing worth seeing, damn it. Didn't your parents teach you basic manners? You didn't even knock when you came in. Why knock when entering your own room? I was even more incredulous. This is your room. The clothes you're wearing still aren't dry. If you don't want the cold to get worse, take it off quickly. Honestly, I bring you clothes and still get yelled at. What is wrong with this world? I shook my head. I've caught a cold. No wonder I keep feeling dizzy. So, you were the one who saved me? My tone had indeed been very bad just now. No matter what. Thank you for saving me. It's late. I'll go now. Where do you think you're going? I've already looked into it. I know exactly what happened at the Sky Garden. I know very well. I can stay at a hotel for now. It's this late. If you walk out of here alone, people who don't know any better will think I threw you out. Wouldn't that ruin my reputation? I couldn't help thinking. She's already being hunted by 2 different groups. So what reputation could she possibly have left? Still, I could tell. She wanted to help me recover. Besides, you saved me, so consider this my way of paying you back. Stay here until you find a place. Qinghuan added. Don't worry. I'm not interested in poles. A pole? She actually dared call me a pole. Does your head still hurt? No. Then rest. I'll see whether dinner's ready. I looked at the brand new change of clothes in my hands. This size. This style. Could she have bought them specially for me? Thinking that, I shook my head. She must have men staying over here all the time. That was why they had every size of clothing. I was about to take a hot shower when I saw my own face in the mirror, pale and bloodless. Who would like me looking like this? It made sense that Lu Nianian would fall for someone else. Thinking of Lu Nianian, my heart clenched in agony. 8 years of love had turned into a blade, suddenly stabbing straight into my heart. I don't know how long passed. Qinghuan knocked on the door. Come down for dinner. Chen couldn't have fallen asleep, could he? When she pushed the door open, the bathroom glowed with warm yellow light. Steam was seeping out through the crack. Qinghuan was about to leave when she suddenly heard the alarm in the bathroom go off. Qinghuan immediately sensed something was wrong. She twisted the handle, but the door was locked from the inside. Chen, can you hear me? Open the door. A wave of thick steam surged out, and I collapsed to the floor. Qinghuan pulled me up at once. Yin Chen, wake up. Doctor. Miss, you called for me. Change the dressing immediately. Yes, I'll change the dressing right away. What a stupid man. He could even pass out in the shower. If I don't keep an eye on you for a second, you make a mess of things. Miss, the wound infection has caused a high fever. I'm afraid, sir. No matter what it takes, bring the fever down. Make sure he's safe. Yes, I don't know how long passed. I opened my dazed eyes. The bathroom is so stifling. You're awake? Do you feel unwell anywhere? I nodded, then shook my head. Are you Nianian? I shook my head, trying hard to make out the woman in front of me. I forced myself to sit up. Does your head still hurt? I nodded. Then I stared blankly at the blurry figure before me. What's wrong? Do you feel awful? I'll have Dr. Zhang come in and check you. You heartless bitch. How could you do that? You can love anyone you want. So, why did it have to be my little brother? You even have a child together. Qinghuan's delicate brows furrowed. Could it be? Chen mistook me for Lu Nianian? It's just one woman. There are plenty in the world. It's different. My Nianian is different from everyone else. You said you felt bad, so I had the doctor check you. It's useless. It hurts here. Why don't you like me anymore? Tell me what I did wrong. I can change anything. The next second, I grabbed Qinghuan, pulled her into my arms, and kissed her. Qinghuan only felt heat spreading through her whole body. Even her gaze started to go out of focus. Chen will be mine sooner or later. But not now. Right now, Chen doesn't even know who I am. The next morning, when I opened my eyes, there was no one left in the bedroom. I vaguely remembered blacking out in the bathroom last night for some reason. I had no idea what happened after that. Just then, a servant cleaning the living room saw me coming downstairs. Mr. Yan, you're awake. I'll take you down to the first floor for a meal right away. No need. Where's your young lady? The servant smiled. Miss went to do an interview early this morning. An interview? Just as I was wondering about that. Just then, a financial interview suddenly appeared on the TV screen. The female CEO of the group. The single heiress who was topped the rich list for 6 straight years. Yes, that's our young lady. No wonder. I always felt like her name sounded familiar. So she's the CEO of Morning Light Group. I had imagined, in private, many different identities for her. But I never expected this one. Our young lady is outstanding, isn't she? If Mr. Yan and our young lady were a match, the two of you would definitely have the best-looking baby in the world. Baby. I changed the subject and asked, do you know where my phone is? Mr. Yan's phone got soaked in the rain yesterday. We took it in for repairs, and it was left in the room you just came out of. Thanks. I went back to the bedroom, and sure enough, after I powered it on, the signal showed full bars. But to my surprise, besides the weather forecast, Not a single family member had texted or called to ask where I was. I ran out into the rain yesterday, and no one cared whether I lived or died. I stared at my phone in a daze for several minutes. A self-mocking smile tugged at the corners of my mouth. How could I have been so stupid? I dialed a familiar number. Yang, it's me. Chen, you brat. You finally called me. Where have you been these past few days? Not a single word. Isn't that why I'm calling to give you an update? You suddenly called me from a domestic number. You came back to China and didn't even tell me. You left me all alone in America. You're heartless. I came back because I had business to handle. Back to the point. Have you heard of Qinghuan? You mean the female CEO of Morning Light Group, Qinghuan? Of course I know her. The country's top single heiress. The woman countless men dream of marrying. Why? Do you owe her money? Or are you trying to marry into her family? What are you talking about? I really had to admire my friend's imagination. I'm at her house right now. What? Yin Shen, I'm not judging you. But how could you be fooling around with someone else behind Lu Nianian's back? Even if Qinghuan was gorgeous enough to feast your eyes on, you still can't. What nonsense are you imagining? A lot has happened these past 2 days. I know if I tell you now, you definitely won't believe me. Nianian got together with Yabai a long time ago. She was keeping in touch with me while sleeping with Yabai. Now they even have a child. What? Lu Nianian actually dared to do that. I only found out the truth yesterday. Yesterday was her birthday. But I never expected her to get engaged to my little brother. Do you know? Yesterday was also the 3rd anniversary of Qinghuan Group's merger. What merger? I only found out yesterday that they had been merged for 3 years. Stupid, right? Even the inheritance under my name has changed. Do you know? Yabai is now the chairman of the group. Even Annie became chairwoman too. What happened? I remember your grandfathers will clearly said. There was nothing for them. Yes. Their intentions were obvious. They moved into the group early and built good relationships with the staff inside. Then they waited for my dad to inherit before getting a cut for themselves. I have to say, their plan was a pretty good one. How outrageous. They've gone too far. Just wait. I'm heading back now to get revenge for you. No, young master. You think I'm not already a mess? I'm calling you now because I want to ask what I should do. What else can you do? Of course you take the inheritance back first, I said after a pause. You don't know. To inherit, you have to meet the conditions. Whichever one of us, my dad or I, meets the conditions first, gets the right to inherit. First, both sides have to recreate the scent of Qinghuan Group's latest QV13. What is QV13? It's the last perfume my grandfather worked on before he died. It hasn't even been released yet. 3 years ago, Dad sent me abroad to study perfumery formulation. Your dad is so sneaky and ruthless. How could he possibly let you inherit the estate? He said that whoever inherited it still had to think of the bond between father and son and take it out to split it up. I gave a dull hum in reply. That was what I thought too. But I never expected to return after 3 years of study and find the house completely changed. As for the formula for QV13, did you manage to develop it over these 3 years? No. The process for making this perfume is extremely complicated. Even though I could identify all kinds of scents since I was young, when it comes to this perfume, I have to admit defeat. I can only pick out 1 or 2 notes, and the blending process depends heavily on timing. Even a tiny mistake, and the scent changes completely. What am I supposed to do? If the first condition is already this hard, and you still haven't cracked it after 3 years, then, in my opinion, maybe there's no hope for this life anymore. You just said, there are 2 conditions for inheriting the estate. What about the second? The heir must build a happy, harmonious family. What? That's this hard. Your grandfather might as well have said outright that he wouldn't let you inherit. Yang thought my grandfather was just making things difficult for people. But your grandfather doted on you so much back then. How could he set such a high bar for inheriting? What exactly was he trying to do? Actually, it's not that strange. He wanted me to achieve something in life and have a happy marriage. I think he used the inheritance to motivate me and make me want to amount to something someday. He wanted me to amount to something someday. Yang nodded. Hearing it like that, it does make some sense. I started to worry. My dad has already met the second inheritance condition. He has a family. Now he only lacks the first condition. As long as he develops the QV13 formula before I do. Qinghuan Group and the tens of billions in assets are all my grandfather's life's work. If they end up in Annie's and Yan Yabai's hands someday, My grandfather definitely won't rest in peace. So, what are you going to do? I said in a low voice. Dad has been running the group these past 3 years, and no one knows. My position is the same as his. We're both acting presidents of the group. What I'm worried about is, those employees have already started treating him like the real group president, to stop me from going back and fighting for the inheritance. Annie may have already placed her own people inside the group. I might get kicked out before I even sit in the acting president's chair. What about the will? Take it out and show those people. Would that help? The will has been at home for 3 years. I didn't bring it when I went abroad. Am I supposed to go back and get it now? Of course, you absolutely have to go back for it. Like you said, Qinghuan Group is your grandfather's life's work. No matter what, you have to take it back. If it falls into outsiders' hands, your grandfather will never rest in peace. That makes sense. It was mine in the first place. How could I just hand it over so easily? If this were before, I would have been willing to give my inheritance to my own father without holding anything back. But now everything has changed. My dad is no longer the loving father he used to be. Or rather, he was never a good person at all. I just never realized it. Since I rarely make it home, I absolutely cannot let anyone see my weakness. Mr. Yan, are you leaving? Miss said that until you have recovered, you are not allowed to go anywhere. I'm just going out for some fresh air. Does she still get to control my freedom? If you leave, I won't know how to explain it to Miss. How about this? I'll call Miss and report it first, so she does not blame us later. Otherwise, if she gets upset, we'll be the ones who suffer. Then life will be difficult for us after that. You make your young lady sound like some kind of monster. Is she really that scary? The servant hesitantly nodded. She's even scarier than a monster. Mr. Yan only ever sees her gentle, patient side. When she really loses her temper, the whole of East City shakes. If she's that scary, then I'll talk to her myself. Don't worry, it's not your fault. On the way, I was just about to call Qinghuan when my phone suddenly rang. An unfamiliar number flashed on the screen. Normally, I definitely would not have answered. But at that moment, I vaguely had a feeling. The caller might be Qinghuan. Hello, who's this? Do you still remember me? This young lady, Zhen. Why is it you? Looks like you still remember me. I really did leave a deep impression on you. What? You came back to China and did not even tell me. Did you not need me to pick you up at the airport? I only need you to do one thing. Stay far away from me. The farther, the better. Brother Hal must have told her I came back to China. Otherwise, she would not have latched onto me this fast. Just after I hung up, a sports car screeched to a stop in front of me. Brother Chen, long time no see. Chen, why do you look so worn out? Did something unpleasant happen? None of your damn business. I took another road, too lazy to deal with her. How did she know I was here? Did that call just now have location tracking? Ever since we were students, this woman has clung to me like a piece of gum. No matter what I tried, I could not shake her off. I finally went abroad and enjoyed 3 years of peace and quiet. I never expected her to start pestering me again the moment I came back. This shameless player kept chasing me, while refusing to turn down attention from other guys. She really was living it up. How could I ever fall for a woman like that? Where are you going? Brother Chen, let's go together. If this man were mine, how wonderful that would be. Brother, where have you been? Let me give you a ride. I gave her a once-over, still full of flirtatious schemes, and she never watches what she says. Even her taste is still just as bizarre. Miss She, after all these years, you still haven't managed to land another man. Or has your charm really dropped that much? No men rushing after you anymore. So, you're lonely and came looking for me. Ha, this young lady is never lonely. Besides, I've already had my fill of other men. Only you keep me up at night. Chen, after all these years, you are not still hung up on Lu Nianian, are you? I heard she cheated, and the guy she cheated with was your younger brother. What does that have to do with you? Of course it concerns me. Your business is my business. Get in the car. I'll take you to put those scumbags in their place. Move aside. You're blocking my way. This is the first time I've heard someone say I was blocking the road. Yan Chen, do you know that my being on this road, is this road honored to have me on it? Zhen, can you have a little self-respect and self-love? Good question. My face? I threw it away the moment I started chasing you. Brother Chen, you always say what no one else dares to say. You said it all. I just like you like this. I hailed a taxi and got in. Driver. To Qinghuan Villa, thank you. Why not take a perfectly good sports car? Instead of taking a taxi? Shi Zhenzhen really could not figure it out. Why did I hate her so much? There were too many men trying to crawl into her bed. But I was different. The more I was like this, the more interested she became. Chen, your taste is getting worse and worse. This little junk car. Isn't that just playing with your own life? If something happens to you, who am I supposed to marry? Who said I was going to marry you? And have you been abroad so long that you cannot read road signs? Do you even realize you are driving the wrong way? And you still have the nerve to say I'm taking my life lightly? Do you even take your own life seriously? Chen, you are worried about me, aren't you? Unless you accept my feelings. Otherwise, I'll keep chasing you to the end. If something goes wrong, you'll have to take care of me for the rest of my life. Crazy woman. I did not want to deal with her. Driver, please pass her. Sir, the speed limit on this road is 40. I'm already doing 39. The taxi driver glanced at Shi Zhenzhen while driving and shivered. Besides, who would dare drive past Mishi? That would be suicide. Ha, at least you know what's good for you. I really could not stand seeing her strutting around like that. Just because of her family's power, she acted lawless and treated traffic rules like they did not exist. Driving however she wants. Is that it? She really acts like the road belongs to her. A few young people on the bus saw Shi Zhenzhen driving that flashy sports car. The woman driving is so pretty. Is that really Miss Shi? She looks so much better than in the magazines. Maybe because she heard the passers-by praising her. Shi Zhenzhen kissed her index finger and blew them a kiss. The young people on the bus started screaming one after another. Quite a few people in their cars ran out and even abandoned their vehicles. They all gathered around her. Before long, traffic on the road had backed up. The congestion at the roadside kept getting worse. The honking came one after another. The screams of the onlookers mixed into a mess with Shi Zhenzhen's deliberately elegant flying kisses. I was trapped in the middle of the crowd, unable to move forward or back. I watched the farce in front of me spiral out of control. The fury in my chest was almost ready to explode. I was here to reclaim Qinghuan Group, to make the people who betrayed me pay, not to stand here with Shi Zhenzhen and deal with the crowd. I pushed through the people crowding in with a dark expression. Shi Zhenzhen, move aside right now. Do not delay my business. But Shi Zhenzhen did not restrain herself at all. This is the man I have liked for many years. Yan Chen, please take good care of us from now on. As soon as she said that, the onlookers pulled out their phones and started snapping pictures of us wildly. I forcefully shook off her hand. My voice was as dark as it could get. I have nothing to do with you. Keep pestering me. And do not blame me for not holding back. She staggered a step from the force of it. Brother Chen, I just want to help you. Lu Nianian and Yan Yabai treated you like that. Only I truly care about you. I do not need your kindness. I have to go to Qinghuan Villa and take back the will. I absolutely cannot let Yan Yuandong steal what is mine. A pair of blinding headlights cut through the chaotic crowd. The car slowly stopped in front of me. The noisy crowd around us actually quieted a little on instinct. The window slowly rolled down. Get in. She only said 2 words. Her tone was flat, but impossible to refuse. I did not hesitate at all. I pulled the door open and got in. The moment the door shut, the noise outside was completely cut off. The car was clean and quiet. A faint, cool scent calmed the restlessness in my chest. Seeing that, Shi Zhenzhen immediately lunged to the window. Who are you? What gives you the right to take Brother Chen away? Listen, I am the Shi family's young lady. Do not even think about stealing him from me. Drive. Leaving Shi Zhenzhen's shouts and the crowd's noise far behind us, I leaned back in the seat, and the tension in my body finally eased. I raised a hand and rubbed my throbbing temples. Urgent. I need to go back to Qinghuan Villa. Grandpa's will is still there. Only by getting the will can I rightfully take Qinghuan Group back and expose Yin Yuandong and the others for who they really are. I'll go with you to check the security at Qinghuan Villa, Yin Yuandong's recent schedule, and the staffing at the house. Xiao Xiao has already checked everything for me. You saved my life. I, Qinghuan, never owe anyone a debt. Besides, I am not going to ignore your business. If you want to fight back, I'll back you up. If you want to take back everything that belongs to you, Morning Light Group is your strongest backing. These past few days, she saved me in the Rainstorm car crash, took me in at West Bank Villa District to recover, and quietly tracked down every enemy move from me. She never once asked for anything in return, but the people I had treated like family. announced my death on the very day I returned to China, seized my family fortune, and betrayed my feelings. I looked at the woman before me, this woman standing at the very top of East City, and said seriously, Qinghuan, thank you. When I have dealt with everything, I will definitely repay you. I do not want your repayment. I only want you to win. The car soon pulled up at Qinghuan Villa. This home where I grew up now felt like an icy cage. The guard at the gate saw me, and his face changed instantly. Sir instructed that you are not allowed in. I'm going back to my own home. Do I need anyone's permission? I said coldly, and kept walking straight ahead. The guard did not dare stop me by force. He could only rush to call and report it. The moment I stepped into the living room, I heard Yan Yuandong and Zhang Yayin, along with Yan Yibai and Lu Nianian laughing and chatting. The four of them were gathered around the sofa, discussing the group's future and the details of the wedding. At the sound of footsteps, they all turned at once. When they saw me, the smiles on their faces froze instantly. Yan Shen, how are you here? Is the security outside dead or what? Who let you in, guard? Get him out. Yan Yibai was holding Lu Nianian, whose face was ashen white, and a flicker of panic flashed in his eyes. Brother, you are back. That's wonderful. These past few days without you. We were all so worried about you. Worried about me. Worried that I was still alive. Worried I'd get in the way of you grabbing my family fortune, or ruin your big, glorious wedding, or stop you from claiming Qingyang Group as your own. But Chen, I was wrong. But we truly love each other, and we did not tell you, just because we were afraid you would worry while you were abroad. Will you forgive me? Forgive you? You betrayed 8 years of my love, and slept with my younger brother, getting pregnant by him. You stood by while they announced my death. Do you deserve forgiveness? Cut the nonsense. Qingyang Group now belongs to me and Yibai. It has nothing to do with you. Your grandfather's will has long since been invalid. Invalid. Xiao Xiao immediately took out a document and handed it to me. Yan Yuandong, you secretly altered the will, misappropriated billions in company assets, colluded with outsiders, and suppressed longtime employees. And Morning Light Group already has all the evidence. Also, the QV13 perfume formula Grandpa left behind. I had already successfully reproduced it. And since I am single and eligible to start a family, I fully met the inheritance requirements. I slammed the original will and the proof of my perfume formula on the table. Yan Yuandong went deathly pale and collapsed onto the sofa. Zhang Yayin was shaking all over. Her usual arrogance was gone. Yan Yibai's eyes darted away. He did not dare meet my gaze. Lu Nianian completely broke down. She collapsed onto the floor, crying her eyes out. Just then, sirens wailed outside. Qinghuan said coolly, suspected of embezzlement of company funds, commercial fraud, and forgery. The police are already here. The police walked into the living room. They presented the arrest warrant on the spot. They took Yan Yuandong and Zhang Yayin, and Yan Yibai as well, Lu Nianian, because she had joined the conspiracy, was also taken in to assist with the investigation. What awaited her was the law's punishment and the world's scorn. Bad people always get their comeuppance. They schemed and plotted, and tried to take everything from me. But in the end, they ended up behind bars. I stood in the empty living room, and let out a long breath. The gloom that had weighed on my heart for 3 years was finally gone. Qinghuan came to my side and gently took my hand. Looking at the tenderness in her eyes and brows instantly put me at ease. The setting sun shone through the floor-to-ceiling window and spilled over her. She was so beautiful I could not look away. From our chance meeting in the airplane crash to her risking her life to save me in the rainstorm. And now, being here with me as I took everything back. This woman had already settled deep in my heart. Qinghuan, before this, you protected me. From now on, let me protect you. I will hold on to Qingyang Group. I will fulfill Grandpa's dying wish. And the most important thing in my life is staying by your side. A gentle smile rose in her eyes. She rose onto her toes and softly kissed my lips. There was no haste in that kiss. No misunderstanding, only overflowing joy and certainty. Later, I formally inherited Qingyang Group. I reorganized the business and brought back the veteran employees, becoming a celebrated story in East City's business circle. Qinghuan and I held a grand wedding, and it shook the entire capital. Our married life was warm and complete. I was no longer the ruined man betrayed by family and love. Qinghuan was still that top heiress of the East City elite who could command any room. But she was gentle with me alone. She Zhenzhen saw that my heart already belonged to someone else, and that I was living happily and completely. So she finally gave up for good. She never bothered me again. And those who had done so much evil, Yan Yuandong and Zhang Yang, and Yan Yibai, spent the rest of their lives in prison, paying for their greed and betrayal. Lu Nianian's reputation was completely destroyed. With no one to support her, she struggled at the bottom rung of life. She no longer had any of her former glory. Sunlight fell over the two of us, leaning into each other. I finally understood that the airplane crash was not only a disaster, but also a gift. It led me away from fake people and into the arms of someone truly worth cherishing. Good people are always rewarded, and bad people always get what is coming to them. And Qinghuan and I, hand in hand, became the most perfect ending to this life.